Hello, everybody.
Good morning, everybody.
Happy Veterans Day.
Happy Veterans Day.
Is that okay to say Happy Veterans Day, isn't it?
I think you can.
Okay.
Happy Memorial Day is not.
That's not
is
usually
not
a
cool.
good thing, yes.
But I think you can say Happy Veterans Day.
Okay.
Rooster.
EJ,
Steve DeRocco.
EJ in the house.
EJ, at 5:01.
I know.
He's 14 minutes early.
Yeah.
Echo 5 Hotel, Rooster, sick of pollen.
Now, Charity's on vacation today. She took a vacation day. She will be back mañana.
Yeah. Steve DeRocco and I were texting during the Cowboys game, of course. That was the last Sunday game I will ever be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah,
I am leaving Monday night. I've been a Cowboys fan since I was a kid in the 60s. I remember the Ice Bowl, December 31st, 1967. They have forced me away. And it would have been a lot easier. It would have made a lot more sense if Dak didn't get hurt. I was leaving anyway. But
yeah, but go figure, you give the guy, all this money and he just disappears. Okay, we're back.
Yeah, Charity, like Mr. T.
Good morning, Tim.
Some more vacation days left.
I have one day.
So,
and that'll be no, I thought I had two, but it's only one.
Okay.
So I will be gone the Monday after Elf Louise. That's it.
Okay.
That's my last day of vacation this year.
My people are represented on Ken's 5 this morning.
Yeah. Not too happy about that, Chris. Nothing against your people.
I know. We are triggered by Geico commercials. I am 0.5% Neanderthal. True story, according to 23andMe. Speaking of Neanderthals, Ancient Apocalypse, The Americas with Graham Hancock. Highly recommend it.
I did not watch anything this weekend, really. I kind of just laid low.
Yeah.
Took it easy, relaxed. Did a lot of relaxing. And I know Travis, one of our chatters, is a veteran. I'm not sure about everybody else, but
I believe Echo 5 Hotel based on the
emoji. Yeah, I was going to say with that. Yeah, so happy Veterans Day to anybody that is a veteran. Hey, RK.
RK,
what up?
Happy Veterans Day to RK.
Happy Veterans Day, RK.
I know, Tim. No Charity today.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, man. She'll be here tomorrow, though.
Yes.
You can begin the countdown.
You'll have to just deal with us, man.
Yeah.
The Texas Democratic Party chairman has stepped down following the dismal performance in last week's
So I wish I could be at that meeting on Wednesday between Joe Biden and Donald Trump, man.
Yeah.
Would that not be something? Good morning, Tommy Miller.
Tommy Miller, good morning.
Wouldn't that be
Friend
something?
Eric Bowden will be with us at 7:50 on this Veterans Day.
Rooster, wow. You got lottery numbers by any chance?
What? I didn't see that. What
He
did Rooster do?
honestly predicted Eagles 34, Cowboys 9. You're a little off, but still. Yeah, thanks, Brian. We don't need to hear that. We know.
Yep.
We just blew it. That's an honest coach there. We just blew it.
Yeah.
I like that. All right, well, I got time. I got to get some coffee.
RK is still happy. See what? This is Monday, so Tuesday, 6 days later. Wow, somebody was shot and killed at a Taco Palenque. Blanco in 1604, Taco Palenque shot and killed.
Yeah, I saw that.
Boyfriend
Is that where
shoots
it was?
and kills father. What?
Wow.
The girl's father? I guess.
Yes.
Holy
They got into an
crap.
argument. They were at a bar.
Distance.
They were at a bar. They got into an argument, left the bar, I guess, went to the restaurant, and he shot him.
I live a 10-minute walk from that Taco
Damn.
Palenque. Wow.
That's some messed up stuff, man. Okay, now I don't know what we're doing for. Wait till you hear this,
Okay.
because he did not tell me, and I don't see anything.
Yeah. It's got to be Veterans Day related.
Well,
Nothing in the prep this morning.
no, I didn't
We'll
find
keep looking.
anything.
Let me
Hang on, guys. And we're back. Just for Sam. Stand by, Chris.
maybe there's a local television package. Maybe there's a local TV package about Fort Sam today. We'll
Oh.
look for that too. Woo!
Woo!
Welcome into this beautiful day, Veterans Day, Monday, November 11th, 2024. 17 days until Thanksgiving. That's unbelievable. 44 days until Christmas, 71 days until Inauguration Day, and 221 days until Mr. T and I celebrate the first day of summer. I can't wait. I'm already going to be whining about the winter when it arrives officially. Mr. T, how are you this morning?
I am doing fine. Enjoyed the nice, relaxing weekend and
Yes.
ready. Today is Veterans Day, and I'm ready for it, Chris.
Yes. Charity McCurdy has the day off. She will be back tomorrow. But you mentioned it, Veterans Day. It means a lot to us on so many levels.
Amen.
Number one, it is Military City, USA, and I think we recognize what Veterans Day means. You and I and Charity come from military families. Charlie Parker served as well. And it goes even deeper, I think, as your father is buried at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. My father and my brother are buried 12 rows apart at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. And my mom was added to my father's gravesite, and she is now buried with him ever since last June. So it means a lot to us.
Yeah, and I have friends and whose fathers are buried out there, and it's just every time I go out there, it's just such a special place for me.
We celebrate those who serve every single show, active duty, veterans, and families. And this is a day to do it officially, and we certainly will throughout the morning. We've got some very special guests planned along the way. We'll bring you all the news you need to know all morning long. Brian Gann is in for Charity McCurdy. But right now, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
May see some patchy fog this morning, sunshine with some clouds this afternoon, highs in the mid-80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid-80s. Then Wednesday, a few passing clouds. Otherwise, lots of sunshine, highs in the low to mid-80s. 63 degrees in Leon Valley, 63 at Lackland Air Force Base. It is 62 right here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 512.
San Antonio's first news. That's Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charity McCurdy with the day off. She'll be back tomorrow. EJ Pacheco and Andrew Zimmel flying the Millennium Falcon. Andrew manning our YouTube stream. We're streaming live video on YouTube. Look for 1200 WOAI. You can find it. Now, I did notice that EJ walked in, was it 5:01?
5:01.
Which means he was 14 minutes early.
Exactly.
Because if you're in Generation Z, if you're 15 minutes late, you're on time. We actually reported on that earlier in the summer.
Yes,
so
we did.
Great to see EJ arrive 14 minutes early this morning.
I was a little surprised when I saw him walking in. I was like, wow, what's he doing here so early?
Crazy. And at least he's not wearing his San Francisco 49ers sweatshirt.
Although we don't know what's underneath the Nas sweatshirt that he's wearing.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Who knows?
No 49ers? Okay, good.
Hey, how about them Cowboys?
Yeah. Man, was that bad.
They're awful.
It's nice that they brought Zeke back because I don't think anybody can fumble the ball like that.
Did you see that running toward the end zone at the goal line?
See you later.
Yeah, here's the guy who wasn't showing up at meetings the previous week and was kept out of the lineup, didn't travel with the team, and they're paying him millions of dollars
to do that. And just so you know, it looks like Dak is gone for the rest of the year.
Yes.
So here we go. I say don't win another game. Let's get a good draft pick. Come on.
Yes. That's your only hope is to try to improve the team next year. They're going nowhere this year.
Yeah, there's no chance now. There's no chance.
Awful. It is absolutely awful. Well, lots coming up. We've got all the big stories for you on this Veterans Day Monday morning. The latest as the President-elect Donald Trump continues to assemble his candidate and gets ready for that inauguration 71 days out. We'll talk about Veterans Day as well. Lots coming at you. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time, 5:15.
Good morning. This is Charlie calling from Gonzales. And since people are talking about kindness today, this just happened to pop up on my feed and I want to share it. Keep your heart kind and genuine, even if others don't see or understand how deep it is. Your goodness matters, even if it is not noticed. Stay true to yourself, no matter what.
That is so cool. Charlie, thank you for that.
It was from Friday.
Yeah, she
So,
said
yeah.
that Friday, but we
Yes.
didn't get it before we went off the
No.
air. She was sending us into the weekend with that kind, inspirational thought. So,
It's beautiful.
Charlie, we thank you. And by the way, when we do a talk back, and we'll do one here in a moment after headlines, traffic, and weather, we'll ask you a question. But you can always take it anywhere you want. If you got
Amen.
something on your mind, and my goodness, in Charlie's case, if it's positive, we love it. But you can always take a talk back wherever you want. You can always leave us a talk back 24/7. Now, you leave it during the program, and we tend to play them on the air
Right.
a lot. So
A lot.
You'll
Yes.
probably go on the air. Speaking about on the air, he is in for Charity McCurdy this morning. Charity will be back tomorrow. Brian Gann, what stories are you following?
Looks like a beautiful start to the week, but it's going to cool down. We welcome in News 4 San Antonio meteorologist Jeanette Kaye. Good morning, Jeanette. Thanks, Jeanette. 62 degrees here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 521.
San Antonio's first news. That's Mr. T. Charity's got the day off. She'll be back tomorrow. Brian Gann in for her. Charlie Parker in the next hour with Those Were the Days. Andrew and EJ doing the heavy lifting, making the show go. I am Chris, and it is Veterans Day, and we would like to honor all veterans today. And one of the ways we're going to do that, Mr. T, is through our talkback feature.
Yeah, just recognize the vet or vets that are in your life, and it's pretty simple. Just send them a shout out, as we used to say.
Yes.
And if you don't have the iHeartRadio app, what is wrong? It's free. It's free. It costs nothing. Search, once you get it, search 1200 WOAI. You'll see a circle with a microphone in it. You hit that, you got 30 seconds. And we want to share, with everybody who the veteran in your life is and how important they are to you.
True. And if you also want to give a shout out to all veterans, we'll take
amen.
that as well.
Yeah.
So, Mr. T, tell me a little bit about the veteran or veterans in your life.
Well, first of all, is my dad, who was in the Air Force, retired as a chief master sergeant, then went to work for the city, of course. But in his time in the military, I'm the only person in my family, Chris, that started school and finished school in the same town, much less the same house. All my sisters went to school all over the world.
Wow.
But I was the youngest. By the time we got here, my dad retired shortly after we got here from the Air Force, went to work for the city. My brother-in-law, Dave Porter, in the Air Force. That's how he met my sister. My brother-in-law, Jan, who's no longer with us, was in the Army. My nephew was in the Navy. So I have a lot of military in my family.
Wow. Very, very cool. Mine starts with my dad, who flew B-17s in World War II. He was part of that greatest generation. My mom, while he was in Europe flying B-17s, she worked at a munitions plant in Chicago, Illinois. She was kind of like
Very
Rosie
cool.
the Riveter back in the day. My dad actually served early in Vietnam. He served in Vietnam in 1964. That's when he became sick, was flown to Wilford Hall Hospital
That's
here
how
in
you
San
got here.
Antonio, where he passed away,
Oh.
sadly, in February of 1965. So my mother decided to stay in San Antonio. I always thanked her for that.
Amen.
We had family back in East Chicago, Indiana. So that's my dad. My brother Greg was a pilot and an instructor pilot and a fighter pilot in the Air Force and the Texas Air National Guard. He lost his life in an accident fairly heroically. I've talked about that. I've written about it in 1980. And interestingly, I just mentioned this to you, and you already knew this. I had told you, Tim. My brother is buried 12 rows
That's
behind my dad.
amazing.
You can stand at my brother or my dad's headstone and look right over there and see the other one. And then my mom, who passed away in May, was buried in early June. And what, as you know, these spouses are buried with their spouse at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. So on my mom's side of the headstone, it's got her name, and the inscription my sisters and I agreed on says, "Together forever."
Oh, nice.
My dad and my
Nice.
mom.
Well, at least you knew what your dad did in the service. We did not know what my dad did. He
Ooh,
worked in
CIA.
crypto,
Yeah.
and so he could never actually tell us what he did. And I tried. When he retired, and he was retired for good. We used to play a lot of golf together, and we'd be out in the golf course. I said, "Come on, Dad, you can tell me. I'm not going to tell anybody because I can't, son. I can't tell you exactly what I did."
Wow.
Yeah, and I went to work with him one time when I was a kid. I was sick and I couldn't stay at home by myself, so I went to work with him. This is what I think he did. It was right before he retired. I think he played pinochle for the Air Force because that's all they did all day long was play pinochle.
Oh, that's hilarious. So, all right, you heard from us. We want to hear from you. Shout out to the veteran or veterans in your life on the free iHeart Radio app. We'll play them on the air and react as well. We'll play them throughout the day on this Veterans Day. A thank you to all veterans and their families and all active duty, of course, as well. Right now, your Fox Business Report, WOAI News Time 525.
We're back.
Woo!
All right, so I got a couple already, so that's good. Good.
Cool. Echo says, belated happy birthday, United States Marine Corps.
Amen.
Cool.
Semper Fi.
Very nice. Sika Pollen. My father was also a pilot in the Air Force
Wow.
and was originally trained at Lackland. Very cool.
Yeah, so we ended up back here and retired here. So, yeah, been here ever since. Kevin and Things, what's up?
Thank you, Kevin. M1A1, good morning.
M1A1, thank you for joining us. Isn't it amazing how many people come here through the Air Force and end up staying?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's a very cool town.
It is. Hey, happy birthday, Gunner. Happy birthday, PJ.
PJ's birthday.
Something tells me he's not playing quarterback.
No. 52. He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Lorenzo. Happy birthday, Lorenzo. We're looking at the Ken's 5 birthdays. Too bad we
Lorenzo.
can't cut away to the birthdays.
Yeah, we always do this about this time, don't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so 40 is,
I got us talking more Veterans Day.
hey, man.
I've got some freebies are out there.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll start a,
Well, and we can actually talk about what we just talked about, how many people come here
yes.
and end up staying here or coming back after
Okay.
they get, transferred to other places because we are the greatest city in the world. Thank you.
Military City, USA.
Amen. I did not give him Eric's phone number, so we need to do that sometime.
Ah, okay. I'll do that here in a sec.
Yeah, we got time. Excuse us for a second, guys. All right, we're back.
Let me find Eric's number for him.
Si, senor. Oh, I forgot about my other brother-in-law was in the Air Force also, on my wife's side. Wow. Way to go, Stephen from Lytle. No jokes today. I like that. Hey, I watched the Spurs game Saturday afternoon.
God, that's the one they lost by 1 or something.
It was a horrible ending to that game. First of all, they called God, I forgot who had the ball. I think it was Champagny. Called him out on a play that was right there towards the end of the game in the crucial time. And Sean Elliott says he was not out of bounds. And they went and looked at it. He was in by this much, man. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Wasn't even close, man. And then there was a really bad offensive foul called on Victor Wembanyama for a moving screen, and he wasn't trying to screen. He was trying to move, and the dude stepped right in front of him, and he kind of pushed him out of the way, because he was in movement, and they called it a moving screen. And they challenged it. It didn't get overturned.
Damn it.
I know. Yeah, I was flipping back and forth between that and the what about that Mississippi State, huh?
Gotta like them.
It was a good game, man. And UT just spanked the hell out of Florida, man.
Yeah.
No Jeff Traylor, right?
That's what we hear.
Yeah, next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Correct? Okay.
But I would
Be ready just in case.
just in case. Yeah. I mean, I'm 99.
Well, I got the text from Andy saying no. Yeah, this is great. All right, guys, I'll be right back. Hang on.
Republicans who fought to dismantle Obamacare are now
All
planning
right.
to push their replacement under the Trump
I forgot, man. My
administration.
mom's brother got killed in World War II, and I never met him, but
Yeah.
he got killed. So he was there. All right, I'll figure the rest of that out. Yeah, crap, Brian. We're gonna be late. Oh well. Oh well. I'll have to figure it out in the next hour what time we need to get out, so we don't leave Graham waiting. Okay. I love it. A Dodgers fan got fired for going to the championship parade. Well,
Wow.
he called out sick. He was given a letter of termination stating that he was seen at the Dodgers World Series parade. Well, if you call in sick and then they see you, yeah, you're going to get fired.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes, man.
That's funny.
Plus, you're a Dodger fan. You should be fired anyway.
Yes.
I'll put together a little montage for 50, okay?
Okay.
All right. Hang on, guys. All right, we're here. We're here, people. But are you here? Hello, everybody. Frankie, good morning.
Frankie, good morning.
Happy Veterans Day.
Tommy, Kevin and Things.
Kevin and
Sikapala,
Things.
Echo 5. Tommy Miller.
Echo.
M1A1.
I know Rooster be there. Hello. Yep. Yeah, this guy was pretty cool when I talked to him on Friday.
Cool.
It's Graham.
Yep. Thanks for setting that up.
Oh, no worries, dude.
That's very good for us.
Thank you, News. Yeah, we're late.
Thanks, Brian.
You know what? They don't take into effect all the other stuff that we do in this half hour. You know, Nancy Grace, all that. Uh, and just for you, Sam, Chris, stand by.
Okay. San Antonio's first news coming up. Flashback. We will go back in time, try to figure out what year we land in. You can try to figure it out as well. That's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. Charity McCurdy off today. She'll be back tomorrow. Brian Gann in for her. Charlie Parker, a veteran, will be joining us with Those Were the Days in the next hour. EJ Pacheco and Andrew Zimmel doing the heavy lifting. We are on YouTube. Search for 1200 WOAI on YouTube. I'm Chris Duell, and today is Veterans Day.
Welcome back.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America.
Happy Veterans Day!
Veterans Day is about every service and every branch.
Thank you for your service.
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 Especially all of our veterans. Thank you.
Thank you for all that you've done. We salute you.
Enjoy your day.
You earned it.
It's showtime. We hopefully always say thank you for your service whenever we cross paths with a veteran or somebody serving active duty. But today is one of those days, Mr. T, where I think especially here in Military City, USA, I think a lot of people will be using that phrase today, and rightfully so.
I agree. And I do it as much as I can. If I see a gentleman in uniform or a lady in uniform, I always say, thank you for your service. And they always seem to, smile a little bit. It makes them feel a little bit better.
It's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And I
it really
don't
is.
know that your average American civilian realizes every freedom we have.
Everything.
I mean, your freedom to wake up in the morning and not worry about your life, and your freedom to move around in this country and do the things you want to do, your freedom of speech, all of your freedoms have been bought and paid for and fought for with blood, sweat, and tears, and lives given for all of these years.
Yeah, we just went through election week last week, and politicians don't give us the right to vote. It's our men and women that go out and fight for our right to vote.
Yes.
So that's we I think sometimes that gets lost in the confusion.
Mhm. And now you've got some Veterans Day specials,
Yeah.
opportunities, things going on.
Yeah, lots of stuff. You can get free coffee at Starbucks,
Woo! Way to go,
free
Starbucks.
donut at Dunkin' Donuts,
Nice.
free red, white, and blue pancakes at IHOP, free wings at Buffalo Wild Wings. Applebee's has deals for you, and Chili's also has deals for veterans.
Good for all of those organizations. They should, I hope that a lot of them have discounts, military
Amen.
discounts anyway, but certainly on a day like this, a great way to honor veterans. It's very, very cool. We do want to mention, and we're actually going to have a representative from Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery on the program in the next hour at 6:40. That will be Graham Wright,
Correct.
the assistant cemetery director. We mentioned Mr. T's dad is buried at Fort Sam. My father, my mother, my brother-in-law, all buried out there. Lots of people we know. They're having an event today at 9 a.m. Lots going on. Keynote speaker, the Texas Children's Choir, lots of things going on. It's always a wonderful event. If you're anywhere near Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery at 9 a.m., go check that out. And at the San Antonio National Cemetery, another special ceremony today at 1:30 p.m., honoring the Buffalo Soldiers and more.
Yeah, it's just an awesome event that they put on, and it's well deserved.
Amen. Let's celebrate this Veterans Day. Coming up, we will hear from you. We're asking you on the Talkback feature to give a shout out to the veteran or veterans in your life. We'd love to hear about them. And coming up, we're going back in time with Flashback. WOAI News Time 546.
And we're back.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, free hugs from Chris. All right.
Woo!
Cool. A look you love coming home to. Boom, 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 boom.
How about those Kansas City Chiefs?
Unbelievable.
My God.
I thought it was done, man. You know, I blame Denver because
Yeah.
they had every opportunity.
Yeah.
I just, man, you know, what a timely day to block a field goal. I mean, come on, that's it right there. There was a game. They saved the game right there.
I don't want them to go undefeated.
They're not going to. Yeah, it's just so hard.
Yeah.
Look, one injury, they're you know, that could stop them.
Yeah.
They got lucky yesterday. I mean, they did not play well. They haven't played well all year yet.
True.
That's the thing that bothers me is they really have not played well.
Yeah, they're what, 9-0 now, or is it 10? I think they're
9.
9-0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not to 10 yet. Look, I say the team to watch. I think maybe the best team in the NFL right now is the Detroit Lions.
Yeah.
I mean, they're slowly winning ugly.
I would love to see it. They are
They deserve it.
long-suffering, deserving franchise.
Yeah, I got no problem with them. There's nothing I don't like about them. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. I love Dan Campbell.
Do too.
I love that Jared Goff was left for
That
dead
was
by
a
the
great-
Rams.
Yeah, that's a
And that was
great
a chance.
story.
Yeah.
Yep. And they just got some good players, and they play. They're really good.
Yeah,
they're a good team, man. Hey guys, we'll be right back. We're back. We're back, everybody.
Sick of pollen. That's very cool, man.
That is very cool, man. I was just reading that. That's awesome. Good morning, Meg. Meg. All right. Stand by, Chris.
Okay.
Just for you, Sam.
It is time to go back in time. But what year will we land in? See if you can figure it out. We'll try to figure it out. Let's play flashback.
Well, I don't know. Wow.
When was
Wow.
that famous Seinfeld contest episode, Mr. T? Do you know?
I know it was in the 90s, Chris.
I know. I would say the early 90s.
So I would say the early 92 then.
Let's go 1992.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Hey.
Mr. T is the master of flashback and his domain. Brian
What, that
Gann.
just said a brilliant episode.
It was classic. It was.
Great.
Got to go back and watch that. It's been a while. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. Brian, what stories are you following?
May see some patchy fog this morning, sunshine this afternoon, maybe a few clouds, highs in the mid 80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid 80s. Then Wednesday, few clouds, otherwise generally sunny, highs in the low to mid 80s. 63 degrees at Randolph Air Force Base, 63 degrees at Fort Sam Houston, and 62 right here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 5:54.
I see what you did there. You gave temperature at Randolph Air Force Base, temperature at Fort Sam Houston.
On this Veterans Day, yes.
Well played, sir. A happy Veterans Day to everyone. A thank you to all veterans, to all active duty. And Mr. T and Charlie and Charity and I come from military families. We're military brats. Charlie went into the military himself. We understand the sacrifice families make when they have a loved one in the service. So we thank all of the families as well. And Mr. T, we're asking on the free iHeartRadio app for people on this Veterans Day to give a shout out and tell us a little bit about the veteran or veterans in their life. How do they get us that information?
It's pretty simple. If you don't have the free iHeartRadio app, did I mention that it's free, Chris?
Free.
If you don't have it, get it. Once you get it, just search 1200 WOAI. You'll see a circle with the microphone in it. You hit it. You got 30 seconds, and we're looking for you to recognize the veterans or veterans in your life, or maybe you don't have one in your life, but you know one. You can just send a shout out, as we like to say.
Woo!
And you'll sound something like this.
I want to say happy Veterans Day to all the veterans out there. You have done more than enough than what anybody can ask for. You are the real superheroes. You are the real reason why people look up to people. Thank you and have a great day.
Hey guys, Stephen from Lytle. Both my dad and father-in-law served in the military. My dad served in Vietnam for 6 months and then came home. They sent him home. His dad got sick and he was just there for 6 months. My father-in-law served, he signed up for the Army and he served through Vietnam. He made his career in the military and he served all the way up to like 2000, I think 10 or so. And my grandfather on my mother's side, he fought in World War II in the Battle of the Bulge.
Hey, good morning, Chris and Tim and all the San Antonio's First News listeners. Hey, it's Rooster. Yeah, Cowboys suck. We know that. Let's don't even bring them up anymore. So a special shout out to my dad, Robert, who was a veteran, and his brothers, my uncles, Uncle Max, Uncle Vic, Uncle Tony, and Uncle Charlie, and all those who are serving and served in the past. Man, I appreciate all y'all. Have a great day. Rooster.
Gotta love Rooster. Closing it out with a harmonica. And we want you to keep them coming. This is a day to celebrate veterans. In fact, coming up in the next hour at 6:40, we'll go out to Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. That's where they're having a big event this morning at 9 a.m. Get out there if you can. And yes, it wouldn't have been a weekend in America without a mass shooting. We will tell you about a major mass shooting that happened sadly, over the weekend. That's coming up. Brian Gann is in for Charity McCurdy, and he has all the big stories you need to know about. San Antonio's First News, WOAI News Time, 5:57.
And we're back.
Woo! Tim,
Yes.
Tommy, Mag 7189, Sick of Pollen, Echo, Rooster, Frankie, Echo, good talk back, man.
Echo, echo, echo.
Echo. Do you have Tuskegee in the prep?
Yeah. Yeah. Homecoming weekend shooting at Tuskegee University leaves 1 dead and 16 injured.
Homecoming weekend. Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah, they said that Jaquez Myrick charged with possession of a machine gun, he wasn't necessarily the shooter. That's odd.
Yeah. So you had a handgun with that machine gun conversion device.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not cool, man. I mean, really. Okay. During one of these top or bottoms, let's do the promo for tomorrow.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, since we have an appointment at 9.
This is true. Oh. Yeah, when I saw that story about the restaurant on Blanco and 1604, they weren't telling me what the restaurant was. They just told me 18,000 block of Blanco Road. So I went and looked up. There's a bunch of restaurants in that block area, so I couldn't figure out which one it is till I saw the report.
Yeah. So who was reporting and not? Was it the Express News?
Yes.
That's worse.
Yes.
Yeah, that's newsworthy. That's part of the news.
Yeah.
You tell us
where
what the establishment was.
Yeah.
I wonder if Taco Palenque is an advertiser for the Express News and they were worried.
Still.
Or if they had that policy. Exactly.
It's not their fault.
Yeah.
They're not the ones that shot somebody. Just so happens to be at their restaurant. All right, we'll be right back, guys. Enjoy the sounds of silence. Talks amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
That would be great.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we'll be right back. Go for it.
Mag 7189. Chris and Mr. T, don't take too long of a break. Remember the keyword useful.
Huh?
You're saying we're not useful, Mag 7189?
That's what I'm getting.
Useful. Okay, someone else up above. The keyword of the day, useful, useful. As in make yourself useful. Odd.
There's 1, 6. How long is the news there, Brian?
Very cool, Tommy. Tommy's dad was in the Air Force, stationed
Nice.
at Loring Air Force Base in Maine. Thank you, Mag. Appreciate it.
What up? Hola. All right. See if I can get a time on Brian's newscast here. Come on, man. I'm going to go right now and tell you 24 at the bottom.
24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Mag, I'm not getting your useful thing, but okay.
Is that a live shot with Bill Taylor at this hour? Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. It is. Okay, so 24, that's 30. Okay, yeah, 24, Chris, 24.
24.
Yes. I think we should do something else there and move the talkbacks to 50.
Sold.
Cool with that?
Yep. We have anything Trump related?
Just the fact that he's going to be in, it's the number one story on CNN's top 5.
Okay.
That he's meeting with Biden on Wednesday.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what that meeting will be like.
Yeah. Yeah, that works. Sorry.
San Antonio's first news. He's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. Charity McCurdy has the morning off. She'll be back tomorrow. Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days at 6:48. I'm Chris Duell, EJ Pacheco, and Andrew Zimmel doing the heavy lifting, flying the Millennium Falcon. Andrew mining our YouTube stream. We are on YouTube. Search for 1200 WOAI. You can watch the show, and there's a live chat you can participate in. Coming up later this half hour, in fact, about 6:20, did you know that there's a meeting later this week between President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump? I'm sure that'll be a lively conversation. We'll talk about that coming up. And in a moment, a weekend shooting at the 100th homecoming week at Tuskegee University. We'll talk about that coming right up. But first, your traffic and weather together.
May see some patchy fog this morning, sunshine this afternoon, maybe a few clouds, highs in the mid 80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid 80s. Then on Wednesday, a few clouds, otherwise generally sunny, highs in the low to mid 80s. It is 61 degrees in New Braunfels, Texas, 63 at the Pearl, and 62 right here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 6:11.
San Antonio's first news. It was supposed to be a time of celebration. Tuskegee University in Alabama, its 100th homecoming week celebration. Its football team had just played Fairfield-based Miles College at HBCU College, and all of a sudden, gunfire, injury, and death. Here is Macon County Sheriff Andre Brunson.
Homecoming was supposed to be an enjoyable time, enjoyable place here at Tuskegee University. It's for something like this to happen. People are disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm sad. I'm disappointed and really confused about why somebody would do something like this. Homecoming was supposed to be
Absolutely god awful, Mr. T. You know, we talk how many times, and I want to first underscore, yes, we support the Second Amendment. Yes, we support responsible gun owners, but multiple things can be true at one time. Yes, we have a horrible problem in this country involving mass shootings like this one and gun violence, 1 dead, at least 16 injured, Mr. T. And it's almost every weekend.
Yeah.
We come in here and we get ready for the Monday show, and somewhere in America, there was a mass shooting.
Now, the only, I guess, good news that we have so far today is that authorities have arrested a suspect in connection with that shooting on Sunday that killed one person and injured 16 others. If you see any of the video, people are ducking and hiding, and you hear the gunshot going off, gunshots, I should say, going off in the background of these people running. And it was supposed to be a party.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a celebration. And some Yahoo, I was going to say something else, some Yahoo just ruins it for everybody.
And we say this all the time. You're not safe anywhere in this society. You were at Sutherland Springs at the church
right after,
moments after that mass shooting, that horrific mass shooting. You know, whether it's a grocery store, whether it's a school, whether it's a military facility, a mall. I mean, it happens again and again and again. And as we move into a new era in America and a new president, a new but not so new because it'll be a second term, will be inaugurated some 71 days from now. I just hope that our leaders and our communities continue to work on this. I mean, we talk about it all the time, Mr. T. We don't have the answers, but there is certainly a problem that needs to be addressed.
It's a definite problem. And you mentioned it. Every weekend that we come in here on a Monday morning, there's at least one that we can report on every freaking weekend. And that's just, it's so just useless. It's useless, and it pisses me off, man. It pisses me off that you can't really go out and enjoy yourself anymore without that being in the back of your mind.
And you gave me a number off the air a few minutes ago, number of mass shootings thus far in America in 2024. Where are we?
Yeah, according to Gun Violence or Archive, I should say, 454 mass shootings have been reported so far this year in the United States.
With multiple people shot. 454.
Yep.
Wow. And again, we support the Second Amendment. We support responsible gun owners, but there are irresponsible Americans doing these things. And whether it's mental health, whether it's finding red flags on these people, whether there's a better handle on social media when somebody's going to act out on this. I know those indicators aren't there all the time. I know that, but there's got to be a better way to try to address this.
I think it's up to the people. If you get mad at somebody, your first reaction should not be, let me pull my gun out and start shooting. That's not how it should be. Figure out another way to resolve something.
When you think of things like road rage, a lot of shootings involving road rage. We've talked about this since the pandemic. More violence on airlines. Passengers just out of their minds, acting out when something doesn't go their way.
Yeah, and we just got to calm down. Everybody's just got to calm down.
Amen to that. Take a chill pill, people. Coming up, a sit down between former president, now president-elect Donald Trump, and current President Joe Biden. It's coming up this week. We'll tell you about that coming right up. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time 6:16.
And we're back.
Woohoo!
So 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Okay. God, I wish we were privy to these meetings.
Mm-hmm. I'm not seeing that in the top 5. Where is it?
It's not. It
Okay.
was the transition, but it's
Okay.
it's happening on Wednesday, 10 o'clock our
Okay.
time.
I
mean, it's not like he's got to give Trump a tour of the White House.
Right.
He already knows where he's going. Here we go. Wow, Melania has also been invited to meet with Joe Biden.
Woo!
It's unclear when that might happen, though. I don't think it's going to happen on Wednesday. Now, they've been talking like Susie Wiles and Biden's chief of staff, Jeff Zients, have been talking already. So the transition is working. Let's look how peaceful it is. Wow. Cheers to you. Trump says he's going to appoint Stefanik as UN ambassador to United Nations. Ambassador to United Nations, yes. Huh.
You see the Mattel story?
Yeah. I actually have some audio.
We may want to go there at some point.
Yeah, I have some audio on it. Hang on. Yeah, here. This is funny.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather, and Mr. T and I will talk about the meeting between President Joe Biden and President-elect Donald Trump taking place a little bit later this week. First, in for Charity McCurdy, Brian Gann. What stories are you following?
May see some patchy fog this morning. Sunshine with a few clouds this afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid 80s. And then on Wednesday, a few clouds. Otherwise, sunny skies, highs in the low to mid 80s. 62 degrees in Floresville, Texas. 62 in Lackland Air Force Base, and 61 right here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 622.
San Antonio's first news. There's the old saying, I'd like to be a fly on the wall. I think, Mr. T, you and I would like to be a fly on the wall on Wednesday, 10 a.m. San Antonio time, 11 a.m. White House time, as President-elect Donald Trump has been invited to visit with President Joe Biden after these election results. That should be an interesting conversation.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, because it's not like he's got to give President Trump a tour of the White House. He kind of knows his way around there. Just interesting. They're meeting in the Oval Office. It was announced over the weekend that they're going to do this. And I'm just wondering what's on the agenda, because I really, really, really would like to be there, Chris.
And you've got to wonder, I mean, we know a few things, obviously. We know Donald Trump's going to do some big things at the border, probably on day one, begin the mass deportations. We know Donald Trump and the Republicans, no big fans of how much money this country is spending on Ukraine. There are some who believe Donald Trump will unilaterally pull our support from Ukraine with support of a Republican Senate and Congress. You just got to wonder if part of what Joe Biden might do is kind of lobby for his causes.
Yeah.
Okay, would you please not pull out immediately when you get in?
Yeah. Or maybe he's going to talk about, pardons. Hey,
That could be.
I'll pardon you, and then they'll make me look like, better when I pardon my son, because they really think he's going to pardon his son on the way out. So
And you came up with just, I think, a great idea, and Joe Biden could have done this already.
Yep.
And I think it would make sense for the good of this country. Joe Biden should address the nation and say, you know what? I hereby pardon President-elect Trump for any legal issues that he is now facing, so that he can address the business of the American people.
Yeah, and that would make him look good, and it would bring the unity that everybody was, preaching during the, the elections and the campaigns, and then get that right out in front of everybody.
Agree. And the two of us in Charity, we talked about it last week, agrees he's going to pardon Hunter Biden.
He has to.
Whether
It's
he
his son,
says to or
man. Come
not.
on.
Coming up, we will talk about the big event this morning at 9 o'clock at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery for Veterans Day. That and more. WOAI News Time, 624.
And we're back.
Kemper, welcome.
Well, good morning, Kemper.
Trevin.
Great pictures from the UT game over the weekend.
Very cool. Tracy Bogert, welcome in. Tracy Bogert in the Witness Protection Program. And Tracy Bogert will be in hiding for the next 4 years in a secret,
yes, an
undisclosed
underground bunker.
Yeah, Tracy Bogert sent me something on Facebook this morning.
Really?
Well, and as is often the case, not always, it says unsupported attachment. This attachment may have been removed by the person who shared it or may not have given you permission to read it. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Tracy.
It helps me out.
Way to go, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Appreciate you.
Real good, man. So 50 is now talkbacks?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that cool?
Absolutely.
And we're going to do them like we used to, because each one of them we can talk about afterwards, because they're all pretty good.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Rooster wants Kemper to sit in when Tracy's out. That's funny. You sent him Eric's phone number, right? I thought I saw
did.
that.
Yeah. Kemper, glad you made it to the party.
Yes. We waited for you as long as we could, and then we just decided to go ahead and have the party anyway.
Yeah, we didn't start the show, Kemper,
Yeah.
until 5:40 because we were just waiting
Like,
for
well,
you.
maybe
Then
she'll be here now.
we got to 5:40 and we said, we got to start this show.
Yeah, sooner or later, we got to get this thing going here. I guess a lot of people aren't working today, huh?
True. Yeah, courthouse is closed. My
Yeah.
wife,
Yeah.
Beth, is staying home today. Lucky her. But she showed me her Tuesday. She's got like
Oh, I bet.
12 cases in
Yeah.
the morning.
Because a
In
day
multiple
after
courtrooms.
a,
Yeah.
yeah. Cindy used to bitch about that too, man. Like, yeah, I get a day off, and then I get back and I got 10 times as many things to do. I think I would have much rather worked.
Yeah.
But when they close the courthouse, you really can't do anything.
True.
So no mail today, I don't think either, right?
That's right.
Federal holiday,
You're
right? Why are we working then?
Yeah. Well, it is interesting. We get Memorial Day off.
I know.
But we don't get Veterans Day off.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, I have no problem. I mean,
But,
it's not like it's the first time we've ever had to do
Right.
this. I would not have set an alarm either, Kemper, if I was off today. No question about that. Oh, by the way, you got two John Waynes.
Well, I just saw Don Rackler.
Yeah, that's what made me think. That's what made me think of it. Oh, yeah, by the way, guess I should have told you, huh?
And I got it. Gunslinger season starts in March.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Hang on, I'm going to look up something real quick. This might change what we do.
Visit the facility.
All right, hey, we'll be right back, guys. Good morning, Julie Tucker. How are you?
Good morning,
Camper,
Julie.
Tim, Rooster, Echo, 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 M1A1, Tim in the Philippines.
Lawmakers have spent $10 billion on Operation
Sika.
Sick of pollen.
I am too.
Now, is he going to also talk about, because it was in the same press release, the
You can ask him about
Buffalo
anything on here.
soldiers?
Yes.
Okay.
Republicans who fought to dismantle Obamacare are now planning to push their replacement under the Trump administration.
I would imagine, since that's in the press release,
Yeah, it's right there.
he'll talk about
In
both.
partnership with Bear County Buffalo Soldiers Association, will host a Veterans Day ceremony at San Antonio National Cemetery.
The Texas Republican says his plan would cut out insurance companies. Congressman Roy has openly called for an overhaul of federal health agencies, including the Centers for Disease Control as well. I'm Beth Myers, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
The Republican Party is within striking distance of taking the majority in the House.
Remember, you got to call him there, Andrew.
There's at least 20 outstanding House races across the nation. Most are on track. Arizona has 3 uncalled races, and California has the most, including 6 toss-up House races. California Republicans are leading by slim margins in 4 of those 6 contests. As both parties wait to find out if the Republicans will have control of the chambers of Congress.
They're not paying attention, man.
What are they doing?
Leaving these 30-second promos like in the middle of a traffic block and stuff, man.
Need to educate them.
They're not paying attention, Chris. Hang on, people.
San Antonio's first news on this Veterans Day 2024. He's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. And a couple of outstanding events taking place today to honor veterans and celebrate our nation's heroes. One of them at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery at 9 o'clock this morning. Another one at San Antonio National Cemetery at 1:30 this afternoon. Let's talk about it with Graham Wright. He's the Assistant Cemetery Director at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. Graham, welcome in. Let's start with the 9 o'clock event at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. What can we expect out there?
Well, we can expect out there a ceremony similar to what we've had in the past. We'll have a guest speaker out there. We'll have a short, little bit of a shortened ceremony as we focus our attention on our beautiful San Antonio National Cemetery this year and partnering with the Buffalo Soldiers out there. But at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery, you'll see very much a similar ceremony to what we've had in the past, where we've had a welcoming speech. We'll have a guest speaker. The flags are out around to honor all those that are laid to rest out there. But we're really going to focus on the celebratory nation of this ceremony and honoring our nation's veterans that are here with us today and all the wonderful things of which they gave to this country.
And Graham, this is Mr. T. Thank you for what you guys do out there. Every time I go to visit my dad out there, I'm just blown away by just everything that you guys do and how great it looks. And it's such a solemn experience to walk out there. What about parking at Fort Sam for this ceremony? Where can I park?
Well, when you come into the cemetery, there will be some folks that'll be directing the parking around the assembly area. But this year, we're going to allow folks to park within the cemetery. In the past, because of the construction, we've had to utilize parking at Cole High School. We don't have that much of a problem anymore. We've got some additional roads out there that we're able to park folks on through the new expansion that we have out there. And so we're going to utilize that space in order to get folks a little bit closer to the ceremony this year.
That's good news for people. Parking a little easier this year. Once again, the ceremony to honor veterans and America's heroes at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery begins at 9. And then, Graham, as we alluded to, another event, and you mentioned the event at San Antonio National Cemetery begins at 1:30. What can you tell us about that event?
Well, that event, where it has been smaller in the past, we're going to focus our attention out there. It'll be a little bit larger. We'll have the Texas Children's Choir will be out there providing some patriotic music. We will have a band out there as well as what we have at Fort Sam, but we'll have the larger band that's out there. They'll be providing music for those folks. And also we'll be working in conjunction with the Buffalo Soldiers here in San Antonio, who always put on a wonderful ceremony. We're going to be helping those guys out, providing some additional resources to those folks in order to make that cemetery, which is very historic, just shine a little brighter this Veterans Day there in the shadow of the Tower of the Americas and the Alamo Dome.
That is great. And there'll be honor guards at both of these ceremonies, correct?
Absolutely. We will have honor guards at both ceremonies. Both of them come from junior ROTC units. We will have our Memorial Services Detachment, which will also be available at San Antonio National Cemetery. They will be performing there as well.
And Graham, I echo what Mr. T said. You know, his dad is buried at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery, as is my dad. My mom passed away this year and is now buried with my dad. As you know, spouses can be buried with service members. My brother's buried out there as well. And especially my mom's funeral ceremony this year. And also I lost a brother-in-law who was in the Air Force, went to his funeral at Fort Sam. All of you, the entire staff at Fort Sam, just nothing but the best. I mean, we were all handled with such care and grace and dignity. And I just want to thank you and everybody associated with Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery and San Antonio National Cemetery for all the wonderful, amazing work you do for our heroes.
Well, we certainly thank you for that. Again, our condolences always go out to those who have lost their family members who are laid to rest out there. For us that work out there, about 80% of us are veterans as well. And it's really just an honor in order to be out there to serve those families and to serve this community.
And thank you for your service, Graham.
Amen.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Our thanks. That is Graham Wright, the Assistant Cemetery Director at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. Once again, the event at Fort Sam, 9 o'clock this morning. And yes, as he mentioned, you can park on the cemetery grounds, and then honoring the Buffalo Soldiers at San Antonio National Cemetery, which is at 517 Paso Hondo Street in San Antonio. That'll get underway at 1:30 this afternoon. Much more coming up. We're going to hear from you on the Talkback feature. We're asking you for shout outs and to tell us about the veterans in your life. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time, 646. Yes.
And we're back.
Wow, how cool, Eric. And we'll talk about that when you come on. Eric says, I'll be doing event photos at the Buffalo Soldiers
very
ceremony
cool.
today. Wonderful.
Very cool. Mr. Laswell. Thank you. Thank you, Eric.
And Eric, we're looking forward to you. Eric's
Yeah,
going to join
7:50.
us at 7:50.
All right, cool. All right. Let me go rock and roll. Now, we'll ask you this, Eric, when we get you on, but is it different doing a photo shoot outside as opposed to an inside photo shoot?
Portraitofaveteran.org.
Correct. Cool. Oh, I guess I should have put it on there. Huh? It's not wicked.com, but you know.
We got to get to that.
7:20.
Okay.
After we let people know Mike Capelco will be with us an hour later till at least Thanksgiving. Oh, that's right. We got Those Were the Days is back. I forget. Oh, okay. Okay. I'm glad I asked you then.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm glad I asked, man. If I didn't ask, I would have not have known. Can you send us a few of those, Eric, when you do them, please? Thank you. Be great. What do you think? 7 o'clock? We want to do the promo?
Yes. Good morning, Eddie. Welcome in.
Eddie, what's up?
Yeah, most of you in here know, but if you want to go check out Eric's work, go to the website portraitofaveteran.com.
Org, isn't it?
Org, it's org, sorry.
Yeah, .org.
Portraitofaveteran.org. And you click into the gallery.
It's
If
awesome.
you want to get right in and see them.
It's amazing.
And they are incredible photos.
Amen. Hope everybody had a great weekend. That's cool, man. Way to go.
What's that?
That they can't get a newspaper photographer out there, can't get a photographer to cover their event. So
Wow.
the group will have great photos of their website for their websites and social. That's amazing.
What has happened to, and I know they slashed,
Yeah.
revenues and
And
a lot of those
positions,
great
and yes.
photographers like Rick Hunter.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows where they're at now? Who knows what they're doing? Thank you, Eric. Yeah, we got to get rid of that. Some patchy fog early, sunshine this afternoon, highs in the mid 80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in low to mid 80s. Wednesday, a few clouds, otherwise generally sunny, highs in the low to mid 80s. 62 degrees at Lackland Air Force Base, 62 in Monte Vista, 61 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:54.
San Antonio's first news. That is Mr. T, Tim Merriman. Charity McCurdy with the day off. She'll be back tomorrow. Brian Gann in for Charity. Our thanks to Charlie Parker for those were the days. We thank Charlie Parker for his service as he is a veteran, and this is Veterans Day. And Mr. T, we have been asking our listeners all morning long, and we will continue to do so, especially on Veterans Day. We would love to hear about the veteran or veterans in your life. Tell us about them. You can give them a shout out, or if you want to just leave a talk back and thank veterans in general. That is very appropriate as well.
And so easy to do. If you don't have the free iHeartRadio app, did I mention, Chris, it's free?
It is free.
Once you get it, search 1200 WOAI. You'll see a circle with a microphone. Hit that. You got 30 seconds. That's what a talkback is. Oh, and if you mess up, redo it.
Yeah.
Redo it before
You're
you
not
send
locked
it.
in. You can
Yeah.
retake it. It's a beautiful thing.
All right, let's go ahead and listen to a few of these.
Booyah. I want to thank my son, single dad, joined the Navy. Did 2 tours, has a wonderful family, working. Just my thanks to the men and women serving this country and our borders. Bless you all. Thank you. Bottom of my heart, mean it. Thank you, son.
Okay, I like that.
Very, very cool. Yes.
All right, here's one more.
Good morning. It's the storyteller. First, a shout out to all my fellow jarheads. Semper Fi and happy birthday, Chesty Fuller. But today I think about my dad, a Korean War veteran, retired from the Air Force in 1971 right there in San Antonio. He wasn't always the best serviceman nor the best dad, but I've never met anyone who loved his country more. Miss you, Dad. Thank you for your service.
Wow.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Couple of things there. Number one, and we love Storyteller. He's one of our favorites. I didn't know
Me
he was
neither.
a veteran or a Marine.
Did not know.
Very, very powerful.
Yeah, and his dad retired about the same time my dad did.
Yeah.
1971, I believe.
Yeah. And an interesting way to put that.
Yeah.
About his dad, about his service, and about his, his job as a dad, but, loves him and respects his service to his country and his love for this country.
Amen to that. All right, here's another one.
Good morning, San Antonio First News Team. Happy Veterans Day to all you filthy animals that served. Charlie Parker of the Air Force, Bob Mills, fellow SEER instructor, Paul Wynn, a medic for the Air Force, my son Derek, who's a Black Rock crew chief in the Army. Most importantly, my wife Peggy, and all you spouses. Thanks for all the birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and years of deployments you guys spent alone supporting us. God bless you all. Happy Veterans Day, y'all.
See, that's important to remember the spouses and families
Yes.
of vets because they do a lot of work behind the scenes, and I don't think they get enough credit.
We cite it a lot. You, Mr. T, Charity McCurdy, myself, Charlie, when he was growing up, we were in military families. We were military brats, and I guess we always will be.
Yeah.
And as often as we remember to say it, in addition to thanking veterans and thanking active duty personnel, we thank the families.
Yeah, because I can remember when my dad would go away on TDY and have, he was gone for 11 months at a time. It was my mom and my 3 sisters, which I always joked I had 4 mothers because that's how it was, being the youngest. And just the stuff my mom did to keep everything going by herself with 4 kids was just amazing.
Absolutely.
All right, we got time for another one.
Good morning, guys. It's Kevin from San Antonio again, and I would like to recognize my dad today, retired Air Force Major Brian Klaus Sr. He was in the Army in the mid to late 80s, was in the reserves during the 90s, swapped to the Air Force in the 2000s. Morning in 9/11, I watched my dad yell at the TV, "No, no, no," as the airplane hit the tower. That day, he decided to take up the call to serve and protect this nation. I was so proud of him, and I'm still proud of him to this day. Dad, thank you for everything you've done. I love you.
Wow.
My goodness.
Wow.
That was outstanding.
Man,
that
Kevin.
was very
Wow.
well expressed. Thank you for that.
Amen. Amen. Wow. All right, Rooster checked back in, had this to say.
Hey, one other thing, guys, it's Rooster again, is, when you're born and raised in San Antonio, you don't realize how great of a city and a town that it is until you're gone, and you're living in a different state, and then you realize how great San Antonio is. So, yeah, shout out to San Antonio and all the wonderful people here. Y'all have a good one. Rooster.
When I went to Rooster's point, my first few days in Los Angeles, when I went to USC, I remember one of the things I grew up in San Antonio. So when somebody passes me by on the street, I'd say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah.
"Hey, how are you?"
And they look at
they
you
would
like,
look at
yeah.
me like I was
What
going
is
to,
wrong with you?
I was going to rob them or something. And they'd turn and go the other way. And
yeah,
they thought I was-
politeness. politeness in San Antonio is a wonderful thing.
I've noticed that the people in other places, certainly Los Angeles, are not as nice,
right,
as they are in San Antonio.
And as soon as you got out of here, you wanted to get back, right?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
I did not fully appreciate San Antonio until I left and came back. All right, coming up, we will hear on Wait Till You Hear This from our presidents talking about veterans and Veterans Day. That's coming up right now. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy with all the big stories you need to know about, because WOAI News Time is 7 o'clock. Yeah, who's doing what?
I'll start it.
Okay.
On the Tuesday morning edition of San Antonio's First News, Charity is back. Oh, and we're a day closer to the meeting between Joe Biden and former President Donald Trump, now President-elect Donald Trump.
Yes, that and all the news that is breaking, your news, your traffic, your weather, everything you need to know in the morning. We've got it for you from 5 to 9. San Antonio's First News. We'll see you at 5 a.m. San Antonio's first news on Veterans Day 2024. Mr. T, Tim Merriman. We had Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days. Charity McCurdy has the day off. She will be back tomorrow. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy with all the news you need to know this morning. I'm Chris Duell, Andrew Zimmel, and EJ Pacheco doing the heavy lifting, and Andrew running our YouTube broadcast. You can see us on YouTube, and also, if you choose, participate in a live chat that goes on there. Big 7 o'clock hour. We'll get more of your talkbacks, your shout outs to veterans. National correspondent Rory O'Neill on FEMA investigating a supervisor instructing field workers to bypass damaged Florida homes damaged by the hurricane that had Trump yard signs. Not a good story, not a good look. And at 7:50, amazing photographer Eric Bowden, who takes portraits of veterans on this Veterans Day. We'll talk about this amazing project. We've seen his portraits. We know Eric. He is amazing. The portraits are amazing. We'll learn more about those coming up. And in just a moment, we'll hear presidents from the past talk about veterans and Veterans Day. But first, your traffic and weather together.
Some patchy fog this morning, sunshine this afternoon, highs in the mid-80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid-80s. Wednesday, a few clouds, otherwise generally sunny, highs in low to mid-80s. 63 degrees at the Snake Farm, 63 at Randolph Air Force Base, 61 right now here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 7:11.
San Antonio's first news. Coming up, we'll hear from you, the veterans in your life. You want to tell us about the veteran or veterans in your life? You want to give them a shout out? We would love to hear it on our Talkback feature. Advanced programming note, Mike Opelka will join us in the next hour. Normally we have him at 7:20. He's been on assignment, so we still have him. We just have him a little later than normal this week, just letting you know that. And we span the globe to bring you the constant variety of audio every morning at this time in a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This. And Mr. T, on this Veterans Day, we're hearing from some very important people.
Yes, presidents, past presidents. So here is today's Wait Till You Hear This.
Veterans of the blue and the gray, I accept this monument in the spirit of brotherhood and peace.
There can be no greater service to our country and no source of pride more real.
Today, Veterans Day, as we do every year, we take that moment to embrace the gentle heroes of Vietnam and of all our wars.
As our forces fight, they and their families are in our prayers.
The brave Americans serving our nation today in the Persian Gulf, in Somalia, and wherever else they stand are testament to our resolve.
They deserve to know that their elected leaders who voted to send them to war continue to stand behind them.
So thank you for your service and your sacrifice.
A fascinating and historic audio montage there, going all the way back to Franklin Delano Roosevelt and hearing,
about the silver and the gray.
Yes.
Yeah, it's wow.
My goodness.
Wow.
And we've been saying it all morning long, and we should. But if you're just tuning in, we thank all of our veterans. We thank those who have served and those who are serving active duty right now. Especially, we should do it every day, and we try to, and we hope you do as well. But especially on Veterans Day, and Mr. T, you and I and Charity and Charlie also, having been raised in military families, we also thank family members of veterans as well.
Yeah, we thank everybody who has anything to do with the service, whether you are a spouse, a child, a veteran yourself. Thank you. Just thank you, because it's hard.
Yeah. And, you grew up with it. I grew up with it. Charity, Charlie did in a military family. And you just hope that enough Americans, so many especially today, so many people, you go anywhere, people are just locked into their phones.
Yes.
Walking down the street in a mall, in their car, sadly and dangerously looking at. You just wonder if all of these freedoms that we have, if people are conscious of the sacrifice that was made over the decades and centuries in this country for the liberties that we have by veterans.
Yeah, and I wonder the young people, especially, if they know, if they know exactly how they got these freedoms, And I remember it was last week we had somebody let us know that when you're voting, you're not voting for, it doesn't matter if you're voting for a Republican and Democrat. It's the men and women who went out and served their country is the reason why you get the right to vote, not the politicians that give you the right to vote, is what he said. Yes.
So true. And every generation or less,
yes,
maybe more frequently, we are challenged around the world. These freedoms that we take for granted, if we just don't do anything, they will not last.
No, they will not.
And we will be calling upon those brave men and women who will answer our country's call and serve. And we just are so appreciative of the freedoms that we have. In fact, coming up, we'll hear from you. We've been asking you all morning long. Tell us about the veterans in your life or the veteran in your life. And you can certainly give a shout out to any veterans or all veterans. Your talkback's coming up. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time 716.
And we're back. Good morning, everybody.
Welcome, everybody in here.
All of you.
Good morning.
And Kemper, you do not sound like Tanya Tucker. I got to be honest with you. She's got allergy issues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, there's always Kim Carnes.
Ooh.
Kim Carnes had that voice. If you're new here, I see there's 22 people at the moment. Welcome.
Welcome.
If you do chat like Julie Tucker, Trevin, Tracy Bogert, we give a shout out to you, as we should. Kevin things. Tim is from the Philippines. There's Kemper, Sikapalan.
Trevin. Not Tracy.
Trevin.
Hey. 2-pack a day smoker.
That's funny.
I don't know what you're talking about, Kemper. You sound like Selma Diamond? Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah, I see it.
Tim, thank you for your service. So should
Amen.
we go shorter on Rory or just 45?
Let me look at the log here real quick. Ehum. Once again. Let's go 45. We'll be okay.
Okay.
Well, it depends. I don't got much to ask him about that.
Yeah, and we're probably going to go short and then we'll react.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, which I think is always better.
Well, you did your hair. That's cool, man. Way to go, Eric. Shower did his hair.
Very nice.
Yeah.
We want you to look good for radio.
Yeah, because that's important.
Eric.
Yeah. We're back. That's true, Sika. Definitely.
Tommy, good luck with the dentist.
Yeah, good luck, Tommy.
Hope that goes okay for you.
Okay. Just tossing him, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just for Sam. Stand by, Chris.
Okay. In a moment, we hear from you. Want to know about the veteran or veterans in your life? You can certainly give them a shout out on the Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. But first, Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. What stories are you tracking?
Some patchy fog this morning, sunshine this afternoon, highs in the mid-80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid-80s. Wednesday, a few passing clouds, otherwise generally sunny, highs in low to mid-80s. It is 64 degrees in Alamo Heights, 64 in Leon Valley, and 63 here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 721.
San Antonio's first news. Normally at this time, we connect with Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast, but fear not, we will connect with him in the next hour. In fact, a little less than an hour from now at 8:20, Mike Opelka will join us. He's brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. And as we get ready for Mike Opelka, right now what we'd like to do is hear from you, Mr. T. We've been asking our listeners all morning long on this Veterans Day to tell us about the veteran or veterans in their life.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. If you don't have the free iHeartRadio app, download it. Once you get it, search 1200 WOAI. You'll see the circle with the microphone in it. Hit it. You got 30 seconds. And we want to know about the veteran or veterans in your life.
Morning, First News family. It's Big Daddy Chris from New Braunfels working on this beautiful Veterans Day. I want to say happy Veterans Day to my brothers Carlton, Clayton, and Clinton, who served in the Air Force and the Navy, and to my son, who's a Marine aviator. Thank you for your service. I also served. I was in Operation Inherent Resolve in Iraq in 2017-18. Proud to serve my country, happy to do it, and would do it all over again.
Thank you, Big Daddy Chris.
What a legacy of
No kidding.
service in his family. That's amazing.
All right, then we got this one.
This is Kemper calling back again. Just wanted to tell you a cute story. I had my daughter and her fiance and his 3 little boys here for the UT Florida game. They're huge Gator fans. Some of their friends could not fly out back home to Florida on Saturday due to some technical problems with planes. Isaiah, their oldest, said, maybe the eyes of Texas are always watching. Hook 'em.
Hook 'em.
That is Kemper.
That's Kemper.
Wow.
We saw photos on social
Yes,
media of Kemper.
yes.
And I saw it with all these Florida Gator
Yeah.
fans. And I was thinking, wait a minute.
What
What's going
happened?
on?
Did she get hijacked or what?
Now
All
we
right,
know.
here's another one.
Good morning, WAI. This is Greg from Atkins. On this Veterans Day, I want to talk about my father, who was a Korean War veteran. He's no longer with us. He's passed away. And my son, who was an Air Force Special Operations soldier and fought in the desert. Shout out to them and all the veterans that keep our country safe and free.
Amen. Amen.
Very nice, Greg.
Yeah, shout
Very
out
nice.
to everybody. All
Yeah.
right, here's another one.
Good morning, y'all. This is Danny in Pipe Creek. Happy Veterans Day to all our veterans, especially my dad, my brother, my grandfather, several cousins, and my father-in-law, who all served from World War II to Desert Storm. Thank you, all our veterans. Have a great day.
Wow. Danny.
He's got a bunch of them,
Sure
man.
does.
Wow. All right, one more.
Good morning, San Antonio's First News. This is M1A1. As a veteran, happy veterans to every single one of you out there. I want to give a shout out to my wife. She may not be a veteran, but she always kept my back.
Yeah, there you go.
There,
see,
yes.
see, he gets it.
Smart.
He gets it. Yes.
Yeah, M1A1, one of our many participants on YouTube in the chat at 1200 WOAI, a regular.
A regular, yes.
And we certainly appreciate that support.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very cool. All right, coming up in the next half hour, 740 national correspondent Rory O'Neill, FEMA supervisor telling field workers to blow off damaged Florida homes that had Trump signage before the election. Pretty god-awful. We'll talk about that. And at 750, photographer Eric Bowden, who does amazing photographs. In fact, you can look at those right now.
Yeah.
He photographs veterans. The website portraitofaveteran.org. Click into the gallery and you'll see why we are so excited about it. And we'll learn more coming up. WOAI News Time, 725.
And we're back.
Oh!
By the way, I know you don't like talking about the Grammys, but just a shout out to the Rolling Stones, whose album Hackney Diamonds is nominated for a Grammy this year. They will not win, but it's just an honor to be nominated.
See, I'm okay talking about the Grammys when I've heard of an act that is
I have the
nominated.
list, and I looked at them, and that's really the only one I know. That and Jelly Roll.
Yeah, if I've heard of you, then I'm interested. Cowboys, they're showing cowboy highlights right
There
now.
is no highlights.
Look at
Come
you,
on.
you idiot.
Our MVP, Aubrey, the kicker, is the Dallas Cowboys MVP. He has scored more points than any other Cowboy this year.
Nice goal line fumble, see?
Yeah.
Nice job.
Yeah, that could have changed the game right there.
Yeah. Yeah, they would have been in it early. I think that would have given them the lead. I think it was.
Yes, they would have.
It was
It would have
tight,
taken
right?
the
Yeah.
lead briefly. Yes. Notice how I say briefly.
Yeah, because we're sure they still would have found a way to lose. Julie, thank you. There's probably on the podcast. We have a podcast.
What's that?
Julie says she hates to miss Eric's radio spot.
Oh, it'll be on the podcast. Yeah,
Yeah.
just right after the show, it'll be up there.
WOAI.com. Click
yeah.
into San Antonio's First News. You'll
Yeah,
find
it'll
the
be there
podcast.
because that's definitely one of the segments that will be podcasted.
Thanks, Julie. Have a good day.
Have a great day.
Woo!
Oh, thank God. RK has let us know. I know everybody on the chat's wanting to know. RK surgery did go good.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. He'll be around. He says it looks like he'll still be around bugging us all for a while.
Beautiful.
Okay. So we will hear from RK coming up
Excellent.
sometime this morning. I guess I'll put that in now. Hang on, guys. All right, we'll be right back, guys. Sorry about the dead air here, but we'll be back.
San Antonio's first news on this Veterans Day. He's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. Charity McCurdy has the morning off. She'll be back tomorrow. I'm Chris Duell. Coming up at 7:50, Eric Bowden, who has a project to take portraits of veterans, and they are amazing. We'll talk to him about that project coming up at 7:50. But right now, let's check in with national correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, you're following a story out of FEMA involving field workers instructed to bypass Florida homes after Hurricane Milton that had Trump yard signs. Tell us about this.
Yeah, this all broke on Friday, first by the Daily Wire. The story was that this disaster survivor assistance crew leader, who was assigned to Highlands County, Florida, in Central Florida, a rural part of the state, but they were sending out FEMA workers to follow up after a tornado had touched down there, destroying about 30 mobile homes. Well, Marty Washington, this worker, sent a note to the team saying, here are a couple of best practices. Stay hydrated, drink coconut water, and, quote, avoid homes advertising Trump, unquote. They think about 20 or 30 homes may have been bypassed by the FEMA workers who did note in their reports things like, Trump sign, no entry per leadership. That's what was entered into the government system. Now, when this story broke on Friday, Washington was fired just a few hours later after the FEMA head heard of what was going on. The governor of Florida is calling for an investigation. The governor of Tennessee is calling for an investigation to make sure nothing like that happened there. Was this lady a one-off, or is this part of the FEMA culture, is part of the investigation?
So how long do we expect this investigation to go? And like you said, we don't know if it was just one person that was doing this or if it was part of the FEMA plan. But they've got to figure this thing out.
Exactly. So we're going to also make sure that the people who may have had their homes skipped over, that they get the help they need. And those people still could have applied by the 800 number, by the FEMA app, or going to a FEMA relief site. Plus, the city and the state would have been to this area as well. So we're not sure what assistance they may have gotten. But yeah, we're also getting members of Congress saying that they want a full investigation. So this could be a while. I think the FEMA one's going to happen fastest, though, the internal one.
Yeah, and Rory, we know you're Florida-based. Any reaction from Florida officials like Governor Ron DeSantis or any officials around the Highlands County area?
Yeah, DeSantis was pretty upset, seething in some of the stuff that he posted online, calling it the weaponization of government. The mayor in the town of Lake Placid, which is in Highlands County, he seemed to be taking things a bit more in stride, saying that, it was a great response. The local, the state, everyone seemed to be working together to clear up the debris and get things done. This was a tornado touchdown, essentially, that was tied to this hurricane. So it's in a relatively confined area, but the mayors seem to be happy with the response. So we'll see, though, as far as the individual assistance, that's still an open question.
Overall, how is Florida doing right now?
Still a lot of debris on the side of the road. Cleanup is continuing. We just had some trucks here by my place, clearing out, chainsaws at the ready on Friday.
Sorry.
That was great for radio, by the way. Yes, there's a lot of that. I'm like, I'm trying to work over here.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, and he's always doing great work. We appreciate him. National correspondent Rory O'Neill. Coming up, when we first saw the amazing work of photographer Eric Bowden, who has made it his mission to create portraits of veterans, we were so blown away by how incredible these portraits are. And especially on this Veterans Day, we want to spread the word to veterans who can take part in his project. We'll talk about the website if you want to look at it now, portraitofaveteran.org. Click into the gallery and you'll see why we're so excited. We'll talk to Eric coming up. We'll get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time, 7:44.
And we're back.
Woo! SWAT cats.
SWAT cat.
What can we expect out there? Eric's joining us within moments.
Yes. Awesome.
And if there's new people in here, and there often are, Eric's site, portraitofaveteran.org. He's doing a phenomenal project. What I want to make sure I mention, Eric.
He's got some quotes too.
Beautiful. You know, Eric needs donations. I mean, he's doing this, but it costs him money to do it. He does it out of the goodness of his heart, but
if
you
you've
can
ever
help
had
him.
a picture taken from him, you know, it's a good time to reach out. And can you do it on the website?
Yes.
Okay.
And you can't, but we'll ask him. Yeah. There's a donations.
Beautiful. Need to hit that after the show.
Donate. Let me click on donate, see what it says. Make an impact today. Support my mission by making a donation. See, I want to make sure I bring that up because it costs him.
Yeah. He's doing the work
to pull it off. So. Yeah, Eric, last time we talked to you on the radio, I thought about that right after we wrapped the interview, and I think, damn it, I should have
mentioned it.
I should have brought that up. So we'll get to that. Chick-fil-A, free Chick-fil-A,
I didn't have the
free
Chick-fil-A.
Golden Corral.
Free
IHOP,
breakfast,
you
IHOP,
had?
McDonald's.
IHOP McDonald's, not even a comma or a separate
IHOP
line.
McDonald's. I've never been there, Chris.
I didn't know IHOP is owned by McDonald's.
I didn't either, but now we do. All right, hair tips from Mag. I love it. Stand by, Chris.
Okay.
Just for you, Sam. Stand by, Chris.
Coming up, a man who has made it his mission to honor veterans. He's coming right up. At first, let's check in with Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy. Brian, what stories are you following?
Some fog this morning, sun this afternoon, highs in the mid-80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid-80s. And then on Wednesday, a few clouds, otherwise lots of sunshine, highs in low to mid-80s. 64 degrees at Fort Sam Houston, 64 at Randolph Air Force Base, and 63 right here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 7:50.
San Antonio's first news. Mr. T just mentioned the weather at Fort Sam Houston. Coming up at 8:10, we will go to Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. We'll talk with Graham Wright, the Assistant Cemetery Director there, about the 9 a.m. event to honor veterans this morning at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. And there's another event at the San Antonio National Cemetery that will honor Buffalo soldiers at 1:30. And a man who will be at that event honoring the Buffalo soldiers is a good friend of ours, Eric Bowden, who is a photographer. We met him a few months ago at a public event, and he showed us these amazing portraits of veterans. He photographs them. He provides the portraits to the veterans. They are absolutely gorgeous photographs that will become family heirlooms for generations. And he does this to honor veterans. Eric, welcome back. And Eric, for people who don't know, let's start with your motivation. What inspired you to photograph and therefore honor veterans in this way?
Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Mr. T. Thank you both for having me back on. And it was the memory of my father. My dad was an Air Force veteran. And I started this because I've been a photographer for a long time, but I never took a great picture of my dad. And I never thought to ask him any questions. I mean, other than being in the Air Force, I never thought to ask any questions. So the 10-year anniversary was coming up in 2023. So I thought to myself, how can I honor Dad? You know, this 10 years is a long time. And then that's where I came up with this project, doing these portraits and asking the questions so that other family members have that legacy to be able to bring forward.
Now, thank you for what you do, because it's such an awesome thing that you're doing for veterans. And I know that you're doing this out of the kindness of your heart, and you're footing the bill for this. But how can we help to get you some money to make sure that this can go on?
I appreciate that, Mr. T. You're correct. I will never charge a veteran for this. This is something I do for free for them. But I do accept donations. When I'm doing events, I do have, a way for folks to donate, or on my website that I just came up a couple weeks ago, actually. There is a donation page, and you can donate because it does help to pay for the paper, the ink, and the frames that I give to each member, because each veteran receives an 11 by 14 framed print for them to have free of charge.
And you mentioned these photographs, Eric, and our words, it's radio. Yeah. Our words can't do them justice. So I want to encourage everybody to go to the website, portraitofaveteran.org, click into the gallery and just scroll through these. And what I love, Eric, I love everything about these photographs. Often the veteran will wear parts of a uniform, or the veteran's uniform, or unit insignias from the unit the veteran was in. They're just so diverse and so creative. And the other thing I love, Eric, I love so much about these portraits is you put their rank, the years they served in the military, branch of service. There's information about the veteran that goes with this portrait. And what I love about that is, 50 years from now, 100 years from now, a great grandchild of one of these veterans can look at this and see the information and learn more about that veteran, in addition to the wonderful portrait.
Thank you. Exactly. That's the biggest part. Plus, behind the scenes, I email each veteran a questionnaire asking those questions, and I get the feedback from them. And reading through these is just so powerful and so amazing. Do we have a moment for me to share a couple of quotes?
Sure, definitely.
So from one veteran, he says, facing adversity during deployments and not knowing what we may be facing was always a challenge. Learning from these deployments has helped me overcome challenges in life. Another one, I hope my legacy would be that I step forward to serve my country with strong faith in God and a commitment to protect our rights as per past generations of veterans who came before and after me. And the last one, to young people considering the military, if you're thinking about it, do it. Otherwise, you'll regret it for the rest of your life. That's not an understatement. So these are powerful quotes I get from all of these veterans.
All right. So, Eric, if there's somebody out there listening right now who has a veteran in their life, or they are a veteran and they would love to get you to do a portrait of them, how can they do it? Do you have another event coming up anytime soon? Can they reach out to you on the website? How do they do that?
Yes, they can reach out to me on the website. Down at the bottom is my phone number and email address. They can reach out to me. I am going to be going more on social media, posting events that I'll be at. So it's just, any way you can get a hold of me, I'd be more than happy to come and take that great portrait of our veterans.
It is such a wonderful service you were doing, Eric. And you were mentioning to us, in a moment, we're going to talk more about the two big events today. Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery at 9 a.m., just a little over an hour from now. And this afternoon, an event on Veterans Day honoring Buffalo soldiers at the San Antonio National Cemetery. I understand you're going to be out at that event this afternoon.
Exactly. I'll be out there covering the event because a lot of times the newspapers just don't have as many photographers. So one of the event coordinators reached out to me and said, "Hey, Eric, would you be willing to come out and do photos?" I said, "Absolutely." So I'm doing event photos there. And then tonight there's actually a veterans dinner in New Braunfels. I will be set up doing photos at that event this evening in New Braunfels.
All right. Once again, your website, how they can get a hold of you, and just, donations are made there. So what's that website?
That is portraitofaveteran.org. So portrait of a veteran, all one word, .org.
Beautiful.
Eric, I got to believe somewhere your dad is so proud.
Amen.
You are honoring veterans as we are both sons of veterans, Mr. T and myself, as his charity. Charlie Parker, a veteran himself. I'm so moved that you have chosen this as a mission to honor veterans. And I encourage everybody to go look portraitofaveteran.org. See for themselves in the gallery what these beautiful portraits look like. Eric Bowden, we love you, man. Thanks for all you do, and keep on keeping on.
Love you guys too. Thank you all so much.
You bet.
All right. Love what he's doing. And coming up, we'll learn more about the events today, 9 a.m. at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery and 1:30 p.m. at San Antonio National Cemetery. We'll learn more of those coming up. Brian Gann in for Charity with all the stories you need to know about on this Veterans Day Monday morning. WOAI News Time, 7:58. I'll talk to her in the Eric, if you're in here, man, wow. Great job again, as
Damn
always.
good.
Okay. Yeah, he's in here. Eric, man, you killed it, as Mr. T just said. You express it so well, and it's so clear. Your sincerity and your authenticity comes through on the radio in an interview like that. So we appreciate it, man. And even Kemper likes it. Well, I just, I just love what you're doing. It is such again, it's on one level, it's a simple idea, but it's something nobody else that I'm aware of has thought of doing. And even though I use the term simple, because some of the best ideas in the world and in life are actually simple ideas if somebody would have just come up with them. But what's not simple is how exquisite these portraits look. I mean, I wouldn't have come up with this idea. It's simple but profound, but I would not have the talent. So you got to come up with the idea, which you did, and you've got to have the talent as a photographer to pull it off, which clearly you do. I'm assuming, and I trust that anybody in here or everybody in here has looked at these portraits at portraitofaveteran.org. I've got it loaded right now, but they are just they're so well done, and you really and they're top half of the body, lots of detail, like the veteran on the right side of the screen there, wearing, as many of them do, insignias from his units. Here's another one. And again, because these portraits, in my opinion, are going to outlive the veterans and maybe even their children. I love that, at the bottom, so the lady on the left, Carol Fulman Folker, Captain, United States Air Force, served 1986 to 1994. And on the right, Charlie Johnson, Sergeant, U.S. Army, served 1976 to 2001. Even to have the vision, Eric, to put that information, and let me scroll up a little so you can see where the information is at the bottom. Even to put that information there as you did, it was just so thoughtful and smart. And again, these are going to be family heirlooms forever. They're so good. They're so good. Anyway, I can't rave enough about them. We just love them. We love what you're doing. And Eric, as you do more events, keep us posted. We'd love to continue to promote whatever you do, because it's especially in Military City, USA. And I mentioned, and gosh, and let me see if I can find those photos. I've told you about Sarah Brooke Lyons, who did the 1005 Faces portraits. Let me see if I can. Here it is. So what she did was a project called 1005 Faces, and what she would do is she would ask people. That's not a big photo. Let me see if I can find a better one. She would ask people to write. Oh, no, I'll tell you where. Okay. She would ask people to write just on a card whatever's on their mind or whatever they believe in. And I am on the lower left, second one in. But so she wound up having these all over town, all over downtown. Here's and this was in 2013, so this is over 10 years ago. But this was a downtown building that those are and there were a number of buildings that had this, and she had art exhibits around town. So all of those photographs, and among them, there were like some famous people too, like David Robinson and Tim Duncan. So on the side of the building, there they were, and everybody had something that they wrote. And the project was called 1005 Faces, to show the faces and the diversity of San Antonio. And I'd like to see something like this ultimately, Eric. I'd like to see your portraits at the airport as people come into Military City, USA, around town, art installations. There should be regular or semi-regular showings. There should be events. I just think it's so cool. See if I can find anything else worth looking at here. Photos. Anyway, this is the photographer. Her name is Sarah Brooke Lyons. And again, she just had a great idea. And Sarah Brooke Lyons, who did 1005 Faces, I was just showing them that. And again, your idea, Eric, like hers, but even beyond hers, because you're doing military, you just take it to another level. Is that at the airport? Yeah, hers was at the airport. All right. So we got to do this. That is her photographs at the airport on the walls at the airport. No, hers were not all military. What I'm saying is Eric needs to be, it's Military City, USA as we walk into the airport. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, there's many applications, including the book you've talked about. So okay, so the NQ, what can we expect out there? Wow. Yeah. If you love them, I know we want to do the Wicked thing at the end, but okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, let's do it tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, because this way we stay on point for Veterans Day, even in the final segment. So. Look at that. Eric says, I'm being recognized at Bexar County Commissioner's Court tomorrow morning, passing out 62 veteran employees' portraits. Perfect. Perfect. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah. And Eric, you were the perfect Veterans Day guest, man. I'm so glad that we got to spread the word a little bit on Veterans Day. Yeah. What can we expect out there at the queue? Cool. Woo! San Antonio's first news on this Veterans Day. He's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. Charlie Parker brought us Those Were the Days. He'll be joining us tomorrow in studio at 8:20. Charity McCurdy has today off. She will be back tomorrow. I'm Chris Duell. Big 8 o'clock hour coming up at 8:20. Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. And in a moment, we go out to Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery, where we are about 50 minutes away from their big event honoring veterans, our nation's heroes. First, your traffic and weather together. Some fog this morning, sunshine this afternoon, highs in the mid-80s. Tomorrow, clouds in the morning, sun in the afternoon, highs in the low to mid-80s. Wednesday, a few clouds, otherwise lots of sunshine, highs in the low to mid-80s. It is 65 degrees at the Pearl, 65 in Von Ormy, and 64 right here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time 8:10. San Antonio's first news. Mike Opelka coming up in just a few minutes, about 10 minutes, in fact, a little less. Two big events today to honor Veterans Day in San Antonio. one in less than an hour at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. It'll get underway at 9 a.m. Then at 1:30 this afternoon, San Antonio National Cemetery, an event honoring the Buffalo Soldiers. Let's talk about it with Graham Wright, the Assistant Cemetery Director at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. That's where he is right now. And Graham, what can we expect out there?
Well, we can expect out there a ceremony similar to what we've had in the past. We'll have a guest speaker out there. We'll have a short, little bit of a shortened ceremony as we focus our attention on our beautiful San Antonio National Cemetery this year and partnering with the Buffalo Soldiers out there. But at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery, you'll see very much a similar ceremony to what we've had in the past, where we've had a welcoming speech. We'll have a guest speaker. The flags are out around to honor all those that are laid to rest out there. We're really going to focus on the celebratory nation of this ceremony and honoring our nation's veterans that are here with us today and all the wonderful things of which they gave to this country.
And Graham, this is Mr. T. Thank you for what you guys do out there. Every time I go to visit my dad out there, I'm just blown away by just everything that you guys do and how great it looks. And it's such a solemn experience to walk out there. What about parking at Fort Sam for this ceremony? Where can I park?
Well, when you come into the cemetery, there will be some folks that'll be directing the parking around the assembly area. But this year, we're going to allow folks to park within the cemetery. In the past, because of the construction, we've had to utilize parking at Cole High School. We don't have that much of a problem anymore. We've got some additional roads out there that we're able to park folks on through the new expansion that we have out there. And so we're going to utilize that space in order to get folks a little bit closer to the ceremony this year.
That's good news for people. Parking a little easier this year. Once again, the ceremony to honor veterans and America's heroes at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery begins at 9. And then, Graham, as we alluded to, another event, and you mentioned the event at San Antonio National Cemetery begins at 1:30. What can you tell us about that event?
Well, that event, where it has been smaller in the past, we're going to focus our attention out there. It'll be a little bit larger. We'll have the Texas Children's Choir will be out there providing some patriotic music. We will have a band out there as well as what we have at Fort Sam, but we'll have the larger band that's out there. They'll be providing music for those folks. And also we'll be working in conjunction with the Buffalo Soldiers here in San Antonio, who always put on a wonderful ceremony. We're going to be helping those guys out, providing some additional resources to those folks in order to make that cemetery, which is very historic, just shine a little brighter this Veterans Day there in the shadow of the Tower of the Americas in the Alamo Dome.
That is great. And there'll be honor guards at both of these ceremonies, correct?
Absolutely. We will have honor guards at both ceremonies. Both of them come from junior ROTC units. We will have our Memorial Services Detachment, which will also be available at San Antonio National Cemetery. They will be performing there as well.
And Graham, I echo what Mr. T said. You know, his dad is buried at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery, as is my dad. My mom passed away this year and is now buried with my dad. As you know, spouses can be buried with service members. My brother's buried out there as well. And especially my mom's funeral ceremony this year. And also I lost a brother-in-law who was in the Air Force, went to his funeral at Fort Sam. All of you, the entire staff at Fort Sam, just nothing but the best. I mean, we were all handled with such care and grace and dignity. And I just want to thank you and everybody associated with Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery and San Antonio National Cemetery for all the wonderful, amazing work you do for our heroes.
Well, we certainly thank you for that. Again, our condolences always go out to those who have lost their family members who are laid to rest out there. For us that work out there, about 80% of us are veterans as well. And it's really just an honor in order to be out there to serve those families and to serve this community.
And thank you for your service, Graham.
That is Graham Wright, Assistant Cemetery Director at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery. Again, the event at Fort Sam Houston getting underway in about 45 minutes at 9 o'clock. The event at San Antonio National Cemetery at 1:30 this afternoon. Coming up, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. His takes on the morning's big stories. A little bit later, we hear from you. Shout out to the veteran or veterans in your life. WOAI News Time, 8:15.
And we're back.
Woo! Woo, woo.
Mm. Did you see the story where he met a veteran on a Vietnam veteran on Saturday that squeezed his hand so tight, tears in his eyes, and told me, you know, Eric, this is the first time in 50 years that I've heard that I've ever heard that I was humbled. Huh? What?
Wow.
Well, okay.
Very cool.
That's very cool.
Yeah, earlier said every time I meet, I say thank you for your service.
Every time.
Thank you for my freedom. Welcome home.
Ooh,
wow.
That's even better.
Eric, dude.
Wow. Wow,
Amazing.
Eric. Wow. Yeah, now I'm looking at farther back. Very cool. Very cool, Eric. And we're back. I was going to turn this off, see if Michael Pelka's ready yet.
San Antonio's first news. Coming up, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. But first, let's get you caught up on headlines, traffic, and weather. Brian Gann, what stories are you following?
some sunshine along with some clouds today, tomorrow, and on Wednesday. Today, mid-80s for a high, low to mid-80s for a high for tomorrow and on Wednesday. 65 degrees at China Grove, 65 in Lavernia, and 64 right here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time 821.
San Antonio's first news. The morning would not be complete if we didn't check in with Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. He's brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. Mike, out of the gate, as you well know, today is Veterans Day. Just want to get your thoughts on Veterans Day and any thoughts of veterans who have touched your life.
Well, my dad, number one, who had to get a note from his mom and dad in order to be allowed to enlist at the end of World War II because he was 17. He was not yet 18. And he and 5 of his friends went down. 4 of them chickened out. He went through and was in the Navy. My grandfather was in World War I. 3 of my uncles were also in World War II. My brother Frank served in the Gulf War. So I was told I'd be better off in the private industry when I went after graduation. I did some ROTC at Trinity,
There
and
you
then they
go.
went, son, we think there's a better calling for you. So
What,
if you
as
can-
Lizard King?
Yeah, that's true. If you can eat in peace today, if you're enjoying a good
Amen.
meal in peace today, thank a soldier.
Amen. We live in Military City, USA, Mike. We know that thank a soldier every time you see one. All right, let's talk about this FEMA story out of Florida. It broke on Friday, exploded all weekend, and it is true.
It is very true. And I have kind of a weird sidebar about this. I've been
All
thinking
right.
about it all morning, waiting to talk to you guys. The hurricane ripped through Florida, North Carolina, Georgia, and parts of Tennessee. And they're worried about the Trump signs that are still standing. Why don't we build houses out of those Trump signs? If they can stand a
I
storm
like it.
like that,
I like
what the
it.
hell are those Trump signs made of? I didn't see anything, but this is a disgusting story. And I'm still trying to get confirmation. Was this woman fired or was she transferred? Because they said we relieved her of her duties. And if she has not been fired and somebody should be looking at prosecuting her too.
Yeah.
There needs to be a whole lot of questions answered. I know there's going to be an oversight committee hearing, but does anything ever come out of those?
No. And we learned over the weekend, Mike, that President-elect Trump has named a new border czar. Do you think this guy will be able to fill Kamala Harris's shoes?
With cement. Yes, he will. If you go to your Funkin' Wagnalls, if you pull out your Funkin' Wagnalls this morning and you look up Badass, Tom Homan's picture is there. And he is one of the toughest guys I've ever talked to, and one of the better educated guys. All you need to do is go back through his hearings when he was in front of AOC and Pramila Jayapal, and they're all saying, well, the family separation. He goes, well, if you arrest me for DUI, guess what? If there's a kid in my car, you're separating the family. So he brings great logic and common sense and a dedication to protecting America first. And I love that about him.
That does sound like a great quality to have. All right, so they've captured more than half of the escaped research monkeys. The other ones are forming a gang somewhere, right?
That's right. They're being utilized now to wipe out drugstores and wipe out convenience stores. This is really freaky.
It
And
is.
I love the fact that they say, well, it's a research facility, but nobody needs to worry about, getting bit by the monkeys. Sure. I read The Hot Zone, the monkey house in Reston, Virginia, where they were working on Ebola and the monkeys got out. Yeah, I know what goes on here. This is one of the craziest stories. You've captured more than half, but that means there's still 20 or so.
Yeah.
And they know where they are because they say they haven't gone too far away from their food source, which is smart. So if we're putting out food for the monkeys, how about we put a little sleepy time pill in that food?
Perfect. They got to get you on the case.
I'm serious. I'm ready. I'm ready to serve.
Just don't wear the lizard costume. It'll freak them out.
No, I'd look, either you're on the menu or you're looking at the menu, right? I'd be on the menu.
And finally, Mike, I often watch Real Time with Bill Maher on the weekend. I especially wanted to watch this to see his post-mortem on the election. And he says the losers, the Democrats, have to really take a good look in the mirror right now.
Yeah, I think Bill Maher's been the voice of truth in a lot of this election. Some of it I don't always like to hear, but I think he has a little bit of an addiction to telling the real story without too much colorizing with his opinion, which he's very frequently willing to do. But in the case of this loss, I think he's spot on. And if you watched his show last week, he was sitting next to that guy on MSNBC who the bald guy who loves Wu-Tang Clan. It's always on the back of his computer. And he was sitting there, he was frowny faced during the whole thing. And I thought, keep serving the truth, Bill Maher. Keep serving the truth. That's a good thing.
And he always serves the truth. I'm talking about Mike Opelka, and you can get more Mike Opelka from his Pure Opelka podcast. Get it wherever you get your podcast. We recommend the free iHeartRadio app. Mike is brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. Brian Gann in for Charity McCurdy today with all the big stories you need to know about on this Veterans Day Monday morning. And we will hear from you about the veterans in your life coming up. WOAI News Time, 8:27.
Hello, hello, hello. All right. We're good. I got a bunch.
All right, man.
Bunches and bunches. We're not going to get to all of these. I'm trying to. Okay. 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 And that one's a repeat, so no.
I guess I better go play roulette.
I know that one's open because.
All right, have they arrived yet?
No, yeah, they're here. Andrew just walked in that one. We'll be right back, guys.
San Antonio's first news. That's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. Charity McCurdy has today off. She will be back tomorrow. Our thanks to Brian Gann for filling in and bringing us all the news, all the big stories on this Veterans Day Monday morning. Charlie Parker, thanks for those were the days. He will be with us tomorrow. Not only for those were the days, he'll join us in studio tomorrow at 8:20. I'm Chris Duell. We've been asking you all morning long to tell us about the veteran or veterans in your life, and or a shout out to all veterans on the Talkback feature on the free iHeartRadio app. And Mr. T, the response has been overwhelming.
Overwhelming. It's expected in Military City, USA. Let's start with this one.
I want to give a shout out to all my brothers and sisters who were in Washington, D.C. I was at the Naval National Medical Center in Bethesda for 9/11.
Wow.
My goodness. Can you imagine what that was like?
No, not at all.
Wow.
Not at all.
Thank you, if you're listening, for your service as well.
All right, let's keep them going.
Good morning, guys. It's Colton. I want to give a shout out to my dad. He's a Army National Guard. My grandfather was a Navy Seabee, and my uncle was a United States Marine. Thank you for your service, and thank you everyone out there that served.
Thank you.
Amen, Colton.
Man, all right, here we go.
Good morning, WOAI. This is the Wheelchair Warrior from New Braunfels. I would like to make a shout out to my older brother that was in Vietnam, and it took him till 2008, Thanksgiving Day, for Vietnam to kill him. And then my younger brother, who was in the Gulf War I and Gulf War II, Maurice. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
Wheelchair Warrior. That's a legacy of service, sir. Thank you very much.
And here's a good one.
Yeah, RK here with a little update. 10-year Army veteran. I just want to let you know, last Friday, the surgery went real well. And I just want to let you know, less is really more. So, looks like I'll be around bugging y'all for a while. Everybody have a beautiful Veterans Day. Thank you to all the veterans out there. God bless you. Bye.
Well, and God bless you, RK. And in fact, as RK mentioned, he was a 10-year military
Yes.
veteran, and he's one of our favorites. He's a regular participant on Talkback and in YouTube. I pulled up his portrait
That's a
by
great portrait,
Eric,
by the
and
way.
just so RK was a sergeant in the United States Army, served from 1971 to 1982. Wow. RK and anyone else who has served, thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you. All right, here's another one.
Josh from San Antonio here. I have 3 grandfathers. One of them a step-grandfather. All of them were colonels. One in the Army, one in the Air Force, one in the Marines.
Wow. No kidding.
All 3 of them told me when I went in to go Air Force. Security Forces.
Wow. Nice.
Wow.
Mr. T from an Air Force family. I'm
Yes,
from an
sir.
Air Force family, and Charity's from an Air Force family, and Charlie Parker,
Yeah, also.
an Air Force veteran.
Also.
So, hey, that's very cool.
All right, we got time for one more.
Morning, crew. My daughter, I'd like to have a shout out to her. She graduated with a music degree in vocal performance from Texas State University. And she and her husband serve in the United States Fleet Forces Band in Norfolk, Virginia. They both used their college degrees in music to serve their country and serve as goodwill ambassadors. My daughter in Japan, and after that,
Wow.
Now, how cool is that?
That is very cool.
You wouldn't expect someone with a vocal
No.
degree and a
No.
musical background, but then you go serve your country.
That is awesome.
I love that.
That is awesome.
That was unexpected. All right, more coming up. Brian Gann is in for Charity McCurdy today. Charity will be back tomorrow. He'll catch us up on all the big headlines we need to know about. We'll take a look at your traffic weather as well. And we want to hear more from you on this Veterans Day. And thanks to all who served. WOAI News Time, 8:45.
And we're back.
Woo!
It looks pretty, Kemper, but I spent a week there one day. It's not. It's
Talking about El Paso or Chicago? Gets
El
cold.
Paso.
El Paso gets cold? Okay.
Yeah, I flew in there from Nashville, lived in Nashville for 8 months waiting for snow, never saw snow, flew into El Paso on New Year's Day, and it was snowing. I had to come back to Texas to see snow. Unbelievable. All right, let me tell these guys.
Thanks, Eric. Yeah, it was great to be able to pull up that information on RK. And keep
About
listening,
what?
Eric. We're going to hear from you in a sec.
All right, we're back. Did you let Eric know?
I did. Eric, your talkback's coming right up now in moments.
Yeah. Yeah, this is good. All right, cool.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Because I didn't even look at the phone. I was
No.
looked over here, man.
Yeah,
I
'cause
never
we-
looked at the phone.
We had work to do. Yeah. And we were operating on the information we were given by the voice.
Piss poor.
By the voice
Piss
of the
poor.
Roadrunner.
Piss fucking poor.
Yeah.
Stand by, Chris.
San Antonio First News. This is Eric, Portrait of a Veteran Photographer. Thank you so much for letting me be on. I wanted to share one more thing. The way that I thank every veteran as I do their portrait, I say, thank you for your service. Thank you for our freedom, and welcome home. It's the best way you can thank a veteran is using those words. You guys have a great day. Thanks again for all you do.
And the welcome home part, Mr. T, Eric has told us a Vietnam veteran was in tears when he said that to him because no one said that to him when he came back from Vietnam. We thank you, Eric, for all you do. Brian Gann, in for charity. What stories are you following?
Sunshine along with a few clouds today, tomorrow, and on Wednesday. Mid-80s today, low to mid-80s tomorrow and on Wednesday. 65 degrees in Leon Valley, 65 in Lavernia, and 64 right here at the Radio Ranch. WOAI News Time, 8:51.
San Antonio's first news on Veterans Day. We thank all veterans. We thank all active duty personnel. We thank all families of veterans and active duty personnel. Mr. T, the response is overwhelming, and we apologize in advance. We're getting so many talkbacks. We can't get them all in before the end of the show, but we're going to do our best.
Yeah, we're going to try. Here we go.
Well, good morning, guys. This is your Pennsylvania truck driver, DJ. First, I want to give a shout out to my hero, to my father on this Veterans Day, who served in the Vietnam War. I followed in his footsteps and joined the Air Force in 1985. I want to give a shout out to all my veteran buddies. This is the day that we celebrate our freedoms while remembering those who made the ultimate sacrifice.
Amen. Amen. All right, here we go.
Good morning. It's the oil man for Lavernia. I want to recognize my dad. He fought in the Korean War, which they call the Forgotten War. Dad, we miss you. We love you. Thank you for your service. And thank you for all the military personnel that served. This is your day.
Wow.
Amen. Amen, oil man. And the Korean War, by the way, most people know this. The conditions, war is hell anywhere.
Anyway, yes.
But in Korea, during the Korean War, the conditions were absolutely
atrocious.
Horrendous.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
I'd like to give a shout out to my sailor daughter, Catherine Whitbeck Stiff, and her husband, Jake Stiff. They live in Norfolk, Virginia, because they are serving in the Navy Fleet Forces Band. Jake got his degree at University of Louisville in music. My daughter from Texas State University. After graduation, they decided to serve their country as goodwill ambassadors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was
She
a
still
second
didn't
one. but
finish it.
we honor them, and we're glad you told us about them.
All right, here we go.
I would like to thank my oldest son, spending 27 years in the United States Army, retired E8. My daughter's husband, my son-in-law, for 23 years, United States Air Force, retired E7, now an EMT with shirts. And my youngest son, who's now serving with his wife and daughter in Misawa, Japan. To all our veterans, thank you so much, from one vet to another. God bless you all.
Wow.
That's
that was good.
A lot of service in that family. Amazing.
All right, we got time for another one?
Yep.
This is in honor and memory of my father, U.S. Air Force for 34 years. And a shout out to my youngest daughter for putting in 12 years with our Navy. I love you all. I thank all veterans for my freedom. Have a great day.
Wow. Thank you, Tuesday.
Yes. Thanking all veterans for our freedom. Totally agree. Thank you for that.
All right, we can try to fit this last one in here.
My grandfather was my veteran that been here in my heart. He wrote the manual on how to disarm the nuclear bombs back in the nuclear war.
Wow.
Wrote the manual on how to disarm nuclear warheads.
Wow.
My goodness.
Wow.
Well, Mr. T, the ceremony at Fort Sam Houston National Cemetery getting underway in less than 5 minutes, because they tend to be on time in the military.
They do. Yes, they do.
We just want to thank all veterans, all active duty personnel, all families.
Yeah, thank you for giving us our freedom.
Amen to that. And may we thank veterans and service members every day, not just on Veterans Day and Memorial Day.
Amen.
Thanks to EJ and Andrew for doing the heavy lifting. Charity McCurdy will be back tomorrow. We look forward to that. Charlie Parker will be in studio, and a thank you to Charlie for his service to our country as well. Coming up, Glenn Beck. Before that, Brian Gann in for Charity with all the big stories that you need to know about right now. Your Sean Hannity Morning Minute, WOAI News Time, 8:56.
All right, everybody have a great Veterans Day. Thank you for your service if you're a veteran, and we will see you mañana.
Adios.